Alright, welcome back. Yeah, stream crashed and that. No, it didn't crash. This game's bad. Like, why? Anyway, coming back on board, and it's still the front two remaining the same. So, Red Cow Racing, he's got pretty good pace at the moment. He's still keeping that lead. So, pretty nice from him. And then we have Dylan and BN Artem, who's managed to get past Gagley for that P4. Gagley is such a weird name. Sorry. And then we get back to this race. We are on lap 9 of 39, so still 30 laps to go. So I can't play Rocket League again for a bit. But we'll focus on this. And Ghost at the moment has the same pace as F1 Lewis, the Ghost, currently in P15. Robin has had to box and he is down in P16, 17.5 seconds off the off the next car, which is F1 Lewis. So Red Cow Racing and KB Games are still fighting out for P1. I'm sure this will be what it's like for the rest of the race. KP and Red Cow. Red Cow just needs to do the same thing that he has been doing this whole time. But KP Games is going to have to get a bit inventive if he wants to improve and get that P1 position for the moment as we head on to lap 10 of 39. Thomas picks up a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings, so he is currently sat in P12, which would drop him to P13 behind Kevin, who we know picked up that penalty, picked up that wing damage, for that stupid dive bomb on Pan Polly. But we will focus on the leaders, and I'm sure KB Games is getting very frustrated behind a Mercedes. This is probably the first time he's actually had to fight for a victory so far, because he's so clear of that. But anyway, both Alfa Romeos are having an absolutely amazing race in P3 and 4. Dylan currently on that podium place, but I'm sure BN Artem would love to steal that away from him, even though his points don't count towards Drivers' Championship, they count towards Constructors' Championship, because he is not a part of Alfa Romeo. He is Div 2 Ferrari, I want to say. I think he's Ferrari. Yeah. So yeah, that's cool in that. But, anyway, Jameer Pitts is into the pit lane, and that looks to be a new wing. So a new wing for him. Unlucky. Obviously, that's a skill issue. And we can carry on with KP Games up behind Red Cow Racing. New story breaking. These two are fighting out for a victory. Yeah, but Monaco's dead now. KB Games is closer though, but that Mercedes just seems to pull away in the corner. Robin picks up a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. So Alagi, but that doesn't really matter because he is 26 seconds behind the pack. Thomas is in again. Thomas, mate, what are you doing? What are you doing? You're getting lapped, mate. He's acting like he was at Haas. Anyway, Red Cow Racing is still leading. Oh my god. Let's go somewhere else. Let's go see Mike. Mike currently sat in P9, looking to get past Aston Martin. Aston Martin rear wing is very tasty. I'm sure he would love to grab that as the Aston Martin hits the wall. And Mike is almost going to get past at the final corner. Mike on the hard tyres. So the tyre wear is going to be pretty rubbish for Kinnan on those mediums. So the race is going to come to Mike, but Mike obviously has to get that move done. And is he going to go for it here? Is he going to go up the inside of the casino section? No, not quite, but he's going to stick close and maybe look for a move. It's going to have to be a big send from there, and he can't get it done. But the Aston Martin goes a bit deep, and maybe he can send it at the hairpin. No, he's going to go for that switchback. Just taps that rear end. I did say it was looking scrumptious. But Mike would like to pass it instead of be tapping it because he does not want to break his own wing. And we are a third of the way through this Monaco Grand Prix onto lap 13 of 39 and on to lap 14 now. What I found out about Monaco is it's actually quite, sitting down for 39 laps can be quite tiring for your legs unless you're like a pussy and you can't control that. Yeah, it can be a massive leg workout. So people like KP Games, who I know they're going to get tired towards the end of the race. So hopefully they've done some cardio midweek to prepare themselves for this race, and they're going to need it on like lap 30. Anyway, Mike is still looking to get past Kin. He's going to go for the same move he went for the other lap, and he just gets a little tap again. Mike needs to stop tapping. Goes a little bit wide again. He's going to go for that same move every time. Is he going to send it? No, not send it. But is he going to look for a move up the inside of the head? It just looks so... Just send it. Send it. Mike, just send it up the inside of that hairpin. He gets such a terrible run and goes deep. As long as you keep a tight line, I'm sure Mike can get that move done. But it looks like Kiernan. He's 33% battery. So. Oh, he's in the wall though. Oh, it's all gone to shit. Kiernan is in the wall, and that is no front wing for him. And Mike gets that coveted P8 to move himself from plumb last to P8. And McLaren are sitting very nicely at the moment. Ghost is Peter. KP Games still looking to get past. We are now hitting some back markers of Robin, who won't be of nuisance unless he pulls a Koru and just sits there like for the whole race. But I don't think he's going to do that because he's actually a nice guy. Koru is a massive cunt, so yeah. Anyway, I'm so hungry. But KP Games pulls into the pit lane for his move onto the hard tyres, and he's going to come out behind Pan Polly in quite a nice gap. Pan Polly has not boxed, so KP Games can get his foot down and look for the undercut, and it all depends now on Red Cow Racing's outlap. He needs to get a really good outlap back into the pit lane and hold on to that P1. Getting the ERS down, he's going to be using it for this whole straight, and maybe he can hold on to that P1 depending on how quick KP Games outlap is. The gap is currently 21 seconds. So yellow's sector 2. That is that one. So Red Cow Racing into the pit lane. Let's watch and see where KP Games comes out. It's a 37-mile-per-hour pit box. It's not very fast. And we can see where KP Games is going to venture out. I think Red Cow Racing has got... He's got a massive gap. Has he not? No? No, here comes the Red Bull coming round the straight now. And he's got a few seconds here. Has Red Cow Racing, obviously, though. But he has not got those tyres up to temperature. 2 seconds is the gap. But he's going to have to deal with cold tyres for this whole lap. So KP Games is going to keep reeling him in. 1.5 the gap. 1.4 the gap. That gap is going to keep coming down until Red Cow Racing's tyres can come into a window of where they are actually working. 1.2, 1.1. I'm sure 1 second it's going to drop back into the tenths, and I'm sure his tyres are not even up to temperature by this point. Red Cow Racing is going to need another couple of corners or so to get those tyres fully up to temperature before he can try and get past Pam Polly, who is also going to need to box in a minute. But he is on the hard tyres, so Pam Polly could come into play here if he doesn't scoot his ass out of the way quick enough. We are on lap 19, so we have but Gagley leads the race, I assume. So he's on medium, so he's going to be facing a lot of tyre wear. Ghost has been lapped. Ghost has been lapped. Gagley leads. Pam Polly P2, and he's now got the train of the leaders, the net leaders, behind him of Red Cow and KP. So Red Cow's going to have to look for a move into the Novell chicane, but it is risky, and I don't think he wants to play that game at the moment. If these guys hold each other up for too long, Gagley's now going to take the lead of the race, but he's going to need another 10 seconds from Pam Polly if he wants that to happen. And of course Pam Polly is still racing his own race, but I'm sure he'd love to be a nuisance to the leader and hold them up for a little bit. As you can see, the train that's forming now, Red Cow is going to need to get past. KP Games is closing up, and there is the move from Red Cow Racing. He gets past Pam Polly, but now Pam Polly has KP Games behind him, who needs to get past him here. Dylan comes out P4 behind them. Sorry, I thought that Ferrari was the Alfa Romeo. And Pam Polly actually lets the two leaders through, so he is not bothering to fight them, but it's given Red Cow Racing a very nice 1.2 second gap, which I'm sure will decrease to about 6 tenths within a space of a few corners, but there's still 20 laps to go. We are halfway through this race so far, and I might need to get through just watch the two leaders battle, I guess. That gap though is still at 1.2. And the gap now down to 1 second, back up to 1. I'm going to go grab 2, so I'll be back. We back, and again, Red Cow Racing has let KP Games inside that 1 second mark. So he will be lucky that he managed to get past the pit box and not get overtaken. But we still have 18 laps remaining in this session as he goes a bit deep into Raskas. Pampoli still yet to box. Obviously on those hard tyres, but quite a way off the post of Olin. Finally now he got this. Dylan and BN Artem in P3 and P4. So 15 drivers still remain in the session, which is pretty good. If anyone remembers back in season 1, after that's a race on those easier track than this as well, which is kind of mad. Shows how shit people are. But, Dylan and Kevin both picking up 3-second time penalties, so that's most of the grid now with a penalty. Most are 3 seconds, apart from Kevin, who has picked up 6 seconds. So now 15 laps to go. 15 more laps for Red Cow Racing to hold on to his P1 position and bring home the bacon for Mercedes for the first time. Let me see when they last won a race. For the first time since Australia, the Austrian Grand Prix in season 2. In season 2. So that was 1, 2, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12 races ago was the last time Mercedes won a race. So they've waited quite a while for this feeling again. Josh JS Gaming has left last lap, so it doesn't really matter. KP Games though is so close to this Mercedes. It will be annoying to hell, I'm sure. But he is going to have to find a way past, and currently being. He's going to need to force Red Cow Racing to make a mistake. He's going to need to have a little send down on the side or switch his line a bit to put Red Cow Racing off. But at the moment, he just can't get close enough to the back of this Mercedes where he can really put the pressure on the gap. 6.5 tenths at the moment into the head of the KP. Going down a little bit deep, managing to bring it back to the left-hand side, and he hits the wall there. So if there's damage to this Mercedes, Red Bull, that could be game over for him. I don't think there is. We will see. There might be actually. He is losing time to Red Cow Racing. Got 8 tenths at the moment. Maybe the slightest bit of damage to that Red Bull, but obviously around Monaco, if we've got damage, we're going to get found out pretty quickly. And the gap has risen to 7 tenths now. We head now on to lap 27 of this race. Wouldn't really think there was 14 drivers out there. There is 14 drivers, sorry, out on track, all of which are spread out quite a lot. PNR has actually pitted again and retired. So what has happened to that Alfa Romeo? It has not affected Williams. For some reason his car's come back out. And I'm just wondering what the hell? This game is so weird, honestly. But we still have 11 laps, and KP Games needs to do something. He can't just keep sitting behind and expecting things to happen. Red Cow Racing is a very consistent driver. And on his first race in Division 1, because he races I believe in Div 2. Yeah, he races Aston Martin Div 2. And is currently putting on an absolute storm of a show to take home what would be his first victory in DLRL Racing League, not even in Div 2, in Div 1, ahead of the championship leader, the reigning world champion, and the man that has taken 3 victories from 3 races so far this season. Cameroon beat Brazil. got a red card. And still won. How do you get... He scored in 91st and got a red card in 94. World Cup is actually weird as hell. We still have 9 laps remaining. The same story continues. These two at the front of the grid. But the whole of the 30 laps so far. Dylan has left the session. No. He needs to join back quick if he wants to keep that podium. He's currently sat in P3 with a 12.2 second gap, which is shrinking all the time. Is this going to be a podium for Gagli or for Dylan? Depending on how quickly he can rejoin. That AI is just so slow. I'm just going to check what the AI is on. So AI is on 62. Oh my god, that thing is slow. Dylan, join! No. Oh, Mike has made a move on Pampoli going up the hill. They're going to go side by side. The two, McLaren and Alpine, still side by side. Holding into the next corner as the Alpine of Pampoli gets spun round. It's not really going to do anything unless he's lost bodywork, which he has, and there is going to be arguments between those two at the end of the race. Pampoli, though, just needs to brave it for 8 laps and try not to bin it, because there's no way he can risk pitting another time. It will drop him outside the points by a long way, but we have 7 laps remaining here, and Dylan, join, please. I want you to get that P3. Your whack-ass AI is driving like a snail. Anyway, we go on to another lap penalties. There you go, my friend. Another lap, 6 laps remaining. Plus the final one. KP Games just merely 5/10 off. We have yellow flags as Mink now retires from the session, and that is putting the power down at the Nova chicane. So So we are down to 12 runners, starting at 18. 6 drivers could not cope with Monaco. These two have been going since lap 1, lap 33 of 39. We now enter lap 34 and 5 laps remain in this Grand Prix. KP Games is 7/10 behind Red Cow Racing, who has maintained this gap for the whole race, apart from the pit stops. And when I don't believe SC is on. Ask Thomas. Yeah, I saw your report. Yellow flag, so for the front two, as they encounter a lapped Ferrari of F1 Lewis, who's no longer racing, but his AI is still there. And now lap 35 of 39. 4 laps still to go, and this has been a very boring race, to say the least. Apart from the front two getting very close, there has been no real challenges from KP Games, and he's going to have to force his way through if he wants to take that victory away from the Mercedes and make it 4 from 4 at the start of the season. Maybe a strange move from KP to go for the overcut. Maybe an undercut would have been better for the Red Bull, but we'll never know. Tyre wear will also be coming to into play with these guys, as for the 36th time we cross the line to start another lap. Everyone else in the field is so spread out, apart from Kiernan and Reece Thomas. But I don't want to look away from this, as there could be a move. Then we see the rear end of Red Cow Racing and what he's been staring at, what KP Games has been staring at for the last 36 whole laps. KP has not seen fresh air since the time that he pitted back on lap, I want to say like 15, 16. Might have been earlier, might have been later, I'm not sure. But gap is maintaining the same, and KP has not even saved that much battery. Red Cow Racing has saved more battery, which of course doesn't come into play a lot, but of course if you're defending down a straight before, if they're going to make a dive bomb, you want to have that extra straight line speed to defend. But KP does not have that advantage. Upper hand is with Red Cow Racing. He has the tyres, he has the car, he has the track position, he has the 1 lap fresher tyres and the battery percentage. All that KP has is the strength of the Red Bull, which is faster than the Mercedes. But yeah, Kiernan, I believe, has had him off at the Novell chicane, but green flags again. He is back going, and our focus turns back again to these two, and we enter the last 2 laps of this Grand Prix. Red Cow Racing only has 2 laps more to to hold on. KP Games can't even get close in the corners, let alone the straights. This man does not have the pace today. I'm sure if he did have track position, he would have been able to hold it, but behind the Mercedes, it's not paying off for him at the moment as we enter the penultimate lap of this Monaco Grand Prix. 38 laps have passed. Red Cow Racing has led, I think 34 or 5 of them, apart from when Gagley led, when these two pit a long, what feels like a long time ago. But KP Games, you can see, inching closer and closer towards this Mercedes, but it's not going to be close enough unless he can send it down the inside at the Nova chicane. The gap 5.5 tenths. It's going to have to be a big send if he wants to make it. The only other place I can think about is Raskas, but in that swimming pool section, I don't think he closes in enough to make a move there. Red Cow Racing turning on that ERS, gets a bit more speed down the straight, and as we enter the swimming pool section for the penultimate time, oh my god, what a battle this is. KP Games is going to look for that move as we now enter the final corner and what will be the final lap of this Monaco Grand Prix. KP Games activates his battery, 13% left, 36% left for Red Cow Racing. He has led almost every lap of this race so far, on loan to Mercedes from Aston Martin Division 2. This man needs a promotion. He's managed to stay in front between the pit stops and all the laps that he has led in front of KP Games. Unless KP Games can send it a 1 point on this lap, it looks like Red Cow Racing is going to take home his first and maiden victory for Mercedes. And in DLRL in itself, KP Games is not going to be able to make it 4 from 4. It's going to be 3 out of 4 for him, unless there is something you can do in this final sector, but I doubt it as we enter these corners, which are very tight and narrow. Mink now leaves session after DNFing. He finishes in P13. KP Games is not going to be able to make a move unless into Raskas, but I don't think it's going to pay off. He's going to have a little look down the outside. He's going to go for the move, but nothing going for him. And he is not going to be victorious. It's going to be Red Cow Racing, for the first time in his career, is going to win the Monaco Grand Prix. KP Games takes home P2. Dylan is going to take home P3, managed to reconnect to the game. Gagley has dropped down to P5. And Dylan, even though he's 25.6 seconds behind the leader, it's going to take home one of his first podiums for Alfa Romeo. And this man cannot stop giving. He takes home P3. Mike is going to be next from the last spot on the grid. Is going to take home P4 for McLaren and keep that record going of P2 in the championship. Gagley finishes P5 after sitting in P4 for so long in that race. Jameer is now rounding the final corner. He is going to take home P6. Pampoli in P7, and there are some still moves being made between Reese Thomas and Kim, I believe. Reese Thomas has run out of fuel. Yeah, so Kiernan takes home P8 for Aston Martin, a very good result for them. Reese Thomas is going to crawl across the line at 95 miles an hour, take home P9, and Ghost, what are you doing, mate? Takes home P11. And that is the end of the Monaco Grand Prix. 12 finishes, no massive accidents. And I'd say that was a pretty boring Grand Prix, but an excellent drive from Red Cow Racing. And for the first time, he is going to step up onto the podium. And it's not going to be second or third, it's going to be the top step of the podium for Mercedes once again since the Austrian Grand Prix. And there is the Monaco trophy. podium celebrations for Red Cow Racing. He takes home his maiden victory. And we will be back with you next week for hopefully a more enjoyable race. But of course there is the everyone. And we will be back with the British Grand Prix next week, which is the 9th of December. There we go then. That is the end of the Monaco Grand Prix. See us next week in Silverstone.